We have the No Name Show. Nobody's named it yet. We hadn't picked it yet. We're here just sharing funny stories with my weirdo friends. And I got Matt Clapp in here today, one of the biggest weirdos of the bunch.
How y'all doing? Pleasure to be here.
Matt got a name pretty quick, and we're just going to go straight to that. We don't want to get into details because we don't want to embarrass people or create any problems. But, Matt, why don't you tell us how you got that name, Matt Slap?
Matt Slap. Oh, yeah. Well, what had happened was we're in Venice.
Louisiana seems to bring the worst out in
it
people
sure does.
sometimes.
It sure does.
The meanness, huh?
Must be something like the voodoo stuff from New Orleans or something kind of carried over with us.
Hey, you know what? Before you get into this, I'm going to give you, because I think the people listening need to hear my take on it.
Oh, yeah.
Leading up to this trip in Venice, Louisiana. So what happened was I take Matt and I take some other guys to Louisiana with me, and we have a great time. I took my son. I brought Dylan, who's a new worker here, Dylan Cross, great kid, good fisherman, brought his dad, brought Matt. We were just going to have a good time.
Good,
so we went out.
Wholesome fun.
We caught yellowfin tuna. We caught snappers. I mean, just really destroyed them.
Incredible.
Hundreds of pounds of fish. Well, the next year I'm setting up a trip. All of them say, hey, let me know when you're setting up a trip. So I'm setting up another trip. Matt doesn't have the Matt Slap name yet. So they go, hey, my other buddy wants to go. Well, you know, this is back like when I was talking about, you know, Big Sticky over there where he'd always want to bring a friend with him. You know, well, you don't always have room for a friend.
And by the way, this wasn't my plan. This was our common buddies.
Well, he rolled with it.
I rolled with it. Yeah.
So a week before the trip, we're all going to meet together, right? We got 2 boats, 12 people. We're all going to Venice. We're going to have a good time. We're going to follow each other and catch these big fish.
I basically got pushed to the B team.
So I said, hey, guys, you know, y'all should get your own boat. And they did, and so that's where the second boat come from. So we're going to meet the week before to tell everybody.
Plan it all out.
We were there about 30, 40 minutes. It was perfect. I felt tension on the B team. So I kind of called Matt and I called another guy and I said, hey, guys, it's a week before you go and you got tension. There's going to be some problems on the boat. I'm telling you, no, we'll be all right.
That'd be great.
Cicada. So here we go. We're in Louisiana. Day one, I meet them back over at the dock. I see them pull up. They have a non-participant.
A non-participant.
There's a non-participant on the boat.
Rogelio, I believe, was his name.
Yeah, we can't give out real names.
Rogelio.
So the non-participant didn't bait his hook, didn't tie his hook, didn't make sandwiches, got you to get drinks and bait.
Yeah.
I'm seeing day one, this ain't good.
Well,
I know
my best friend and I were there, and we decided, we've been here before. Let's start working on the boat. So all the guys the next day kind of follow suit what we did. This is the protocol. We'll bust our butt, work hard, and, you know, rig lines, everything. And Rogelio took a little bit of advantage of the situation.
Well, now I'm going to tell you just a little bit of day two, and then I'm going to let Matt take it. So day two, I'm standing at the dock watching them pull in, 36-foot yellowfin.
6 people.
6 people. There's one person every 6 foot, and nobody's talking. So I'm going, something happened. Something bad happened today. So I'm looking at everybody, no cuts. I'm looking at limbs and fingers. So I asked the little kid, Dylan, what happened? Matt slapped somebody. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, what happened was, like I said, we started off the first day working. I brought all my tackle, rods, reels, tying rigs, chunking bait, cleaning the boat. And like Mike said, the first day we get back, Rogelio not even tied up. The yellowfin's not even tied up to the dock yet. He jumps off, goes straight into the houseboat. We're unloading rods, washing rods, cleaning fish, washing the boat. All 5 of us left are, working pretty hard. Rogelio jumps off the boat and goes straight inside to the AC. We're like, oh, maybe he's got to use the restroom. Well, we're so busy, not really paying attention, and 10, 15 minutes later, Rogelio comes out with some clean clothes, wet hair from the shower, and an ice-cold beverage. We're like, oh, okay, all right. Well, we continue to do the work. Next day, it was not my day to bait and tie rigs and make sandwiches. It was Rogelio and his partner. Few things happened that day to where he was a little aggressive with me, dangling his hook in front of my face, retie this, retie that, and
pow.
Yeah, I don't know if, I really look like the type to be doing all that, But anyway, he breaks the line off. This was what tops it off. He breaks a rig on some mango snappers on the rig, and he comes up and he extends his rod into my chest and pushes me back, retie me up. Oh, okay. Well, he walked away, and I thought about it for a second. I'm like, I think I've had enough, and I mentioned to him, with a calm, cool voice like I normally am, under control, and said, hey, I don't appreciate the way you're talking to me, sir. Maybe a little bit more. I might be downplaying it. And I told him, I said, you ever talk to me like that again, I'm going to slap the snot out of you. Well, he proceeds to say, you're not going to slap anybody. Well, if you know me, it's like a trigger. My best friend knew what was going to happen. He's on the right. He comes across the helm, blocks the Rogelio guy, and I slapped the crap out of him.
There was a misunderstanding.
And when he got up, he was like, ho, 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 I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm like, yeah, a big misunderstanding. I'm not going to listen to this. So,
hey, I will tell you this. From my point of view after that, he was Matt Slap.
That's where the name came
everybody from. Was participating on the boat for the next 4 days.
Yeah,
so it was probably pretty good.
It's amazing. The guy ended up cleaning the boat, washing fish. Cleaning fish, washing dishes.
Moral of the story, sometimes you may need to slap your buddy. Not real hard, but, you may need to.
Buddy, yeah. But it worked.
Like your little dog. Now I want to get into, now that everybody knows, finally you landed the plane, and you could have done that right off the bat, but we wasted 10 minutes talking about it. But it's okay. Some of the stuff we do on the boat, and one of the things, Matt's one of these guys that drop of a hat, he can go fishing. Drop of a hat, he's not scared to go out of town for 4 or 5 days, go to Louisiana. He's been to Key West with me, Georgia, Alabama, Canada. Been to Alberta, Canada. And those stories, we got to kind of filter those because we get out of the country there and laws are different. So people may look at you a little bit different here than there. But anyway, we're going to get into all of them. But one of the best thing is Matt has like what I call a mall truck. Ever since I've known him, he's owned a mall truck, right? Always looks good. It can rain all week. Everybody's truck's covered in dirt. Matt's truck is flawless. He don't drive it, no miles, and always wants to ride with you. So this year was the greatest thing. I just want you, last hunting season, in October, I got Matt to drive. Oh, I pulled his line before he asked me. Oh, mine's got to go in for service. I hadn't had an oil change in months. Matt used that for 6 months, by the way, and I'm picking him up every time. But we got through that. We went on up to Georgia. So we're driving through the property, right? And we see a deer eating at a feeder on a food plot as we're driving down a road, and it's out to our left about 100 yards. Well, any hunter knows, right? Don't stop where he can, or the she or whatever animal can see you. if you're driving and they look at you, keep driving till you can't see them no more. Then get out with the firearm if you want to go back and G.I. Joe them and shoot them, which is what the whole goal here during hunting season is, to shoot a few does. Perfect one sitting there. So I got Matt with the trailer behind him, big fancy truck, mall truck, shiny rims. Even a dark color too, you know, just wasn't it maroon or something?
No, I don't believe
something,
so. Magenta.
Yeah, it was something you can't even pronounce. But anyway, we're down there and we're driving. Well, the first thing he does, like a goofball, stops right in the middle of the view, and the deer's looking at us.
You know, I'm a nature guy.
And he's
like
looking,
to bird
and I'm
watch.
looking, and I'm going, go. Keep going, keep going. So he goes too far. Now we got to back up. He backs a trailer into
Forgot
he had the trailer behind us. Now we're trying to shoot this deer, be super quiet. He backs up, smashes the trailer. I'm yelling at him under my breath, if that's possible. Matt, we got to do this. Stop it. Just stop right there. So he shuts it off, and I'm sliding out the door with my rifle. Matt opens his door, forgets to take the keys out.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm about ready to flip the barrel on him. He looked like a cull buck to me that day, I promise you. So we get out with G.I. Joe. I shoot. I hit a stick. Nobody kills nothing because of the fiasco.
Perfect shot. Dr. Death here hits I think the stick was like about maybe 100-pound, line. That's about the diameter of it, and that's what missed it and shot it way over here, not a miss. All
right, so we're still hunting in Georgia, right? This is all going on. We're there for what, 8 or 9 days.
Yeah.
So the whole way up there, I'm telling Matt about deer management. I'm telling him, hey, you don't, if you're going to shoot a doe, because that's when we shoot them, do not shoot one unless it's got 2 young with it. The reason why we do that is because, for one, it's a mature doe, and that's the one you want to take. You want the little ones growing up, better the herd. But also, at the beginning of the season, deer look bigger than they normally do because you hadn't seen them. So all of a sudden, this 50-pound deer walks out. Oh, yeah, 80, 90 pounds.
Monster.
Well, Matt has gone from not knowing much about deer in a 6-hour trip
overnight
to Georgia. He was a wildlife biologist.
He
was the new wildlife biologist. So don't dirty my story up, because this is a good one. You know where it's headed.
Oh, I know.
No button bucks. No button bucks. Absolutely no button bucks. People say, well, you can't eat horns and all that. I like managing deer. I like shooting the ones that when you shoot them, it betters the herd. If you can't better the herd by killing that animal, don't kill it. Wait for the right one. So you shoot a button buck, you shoot a trophy 4 years from now, 5 years from now, right? Maybe 3 years. It could be for anybody. But it's a lot better than 2 little nubbins on top of the head. Nothing small, Matt. Nope. And I said, if it's the only thing out on the field, study the head. The head's got to be round. It's not going to be square. And it's really anybody that's, really studied. I've studied them through a scope.
You mean 4 hours isn't enough study time?
Well, let me just tell you, Matt calls me and he shoots a doe, right? It sounds like a war zone. You take Matt hunting 6, or you hear 6 bullets shoot, he'll tell you only shot once, but then there was another deer he might have hit. Well, I thought you only shot once, but it's all, just flim-flam. That's what we call it, flim-flam. So I go over and I see his doe, right? He shot this doe, and I go, doe's not very big. Yeah, I was the only one out there. I go, you must have studied it super good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I looked at it, Mike. Round head, exactly what you want to shoot, exactly. I go, really? That thing's got 2 little buttons on top of his head. So how in the world did you ever judge that deer that way? Let's hear it, wildlife biologist. How do you explain yourself there?
Yeah, that was a rough one. Yeah.
And then your partner.
Yeah, my partner.
A 3-horn doe.
Yeah.
A 3-horn doe with a berry sack.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I've never even seen one before. We take it up to the taxidermist. Hey, We got a 3-horn doe here. That's Aaron Croft.
Yeah.
Aaron Croft shot
They
a
are
3-horn
out there.
doe.
Yeah, you did. Nice one, too.
But, Matt can take it. That's why he's a buddy of mine. His passion for hunting, his passion for fishing, he is there. We've done a ton of fishing, Matt. We've been to Louisiana. We've caught wahoo here.
Good wahoo.
We both doubled up on 50-pounders here. Had just a great time. And, some of the stuff we do to pass the time, like we got a buddy, we call him Hockey Lock.
Yeah, good guy.
Old Hockey Lock. Jeff Hardiman.
You got to have a good time.
And Jeff Hardiman's not like super aware sometimes.
His mind's going other places.
Yeah, he's like, he owns a bunch of businesses. He's a great guy, but his mind's always turning. So he's like a target on the boat.
For fun.
So
like in Chassahowiska.
We're up at the Chaz.
At his river
Our
house.
buddy Captain Al, Hammaker.
Good guy. Chassahowiska Charters, is it?
Yep.
Good guy.
What is it? I forget what it says on his shirt. He'll probably yell at me.
Yeah.
We mention your name anyway, Al.
He is the king of Chassahowiska, though.
Yeah.
Everything runs through him. He's the mayor.
Yeah.
Don't tell Hardiman I said that.
Yeah, Hardiman thinks he's the mayor.
He's the mayor, yeah.
So we're all fishing on the boat. Matt's got the greatest tip, and I want y'all to try this at home. Next time you're on a fishing trip, the bite's slow.
Got to pass the time.
Take a bait, and don't use a whole bait. You got to cut it in half so it's got the juice and it's like going to come out of it. Break it in half, slip it in your buddy's pocket. It's the best thing in the world. Throughout the day, he reaches in his pocket. He's got all these shrimp and greenbacks. And there's so many things to do to pass that time.
Yeah.
I feel like we do it, Matt. I feel like we get out there.
Oh, it's incredible.
Nobody really wants to fall asleep on the boat.
No.
They get kind of nervous and, go ahead. Take the beanbag.
Or if you're just ahead of Mahoney and he's behind you, you cannot not pay attention.
It's almost funny. We were out on the boat in Louisiana just a week ago, and Matt, I could tell he's constantly looking over at me, other side of the boat. What's Mahoney doing?
And you got this face. Do I make you nervous? Well, yeah.
Well, then I walk around the console when he's not looking, and I kind of get down behind something. You want to talk about nervous? Matt start looking like a bobblehead. Where's he at? He can only go so far. He's pulling something.
Nothing good can come out of Mahoney's out of your sight.
Yeah, you got to watch yourself.
Yeah.
We got some more good ones coming up.
Quite
Y'all
a few.
hold on for a break, and we'll be talking to Matt Slap. We're back.
Welcome.
Talking fishing, hunting,
Trash
having
talk.
fun. Matt Clapp, Total Plumbing Solutions, sponsor of the 620 Real Animals T.A. Mahoney Sundays. How I got involved with Matt, just to let you know, one of my friends, we talked about a little bit earlier in the earlier segment. He does work for me here. He does work for me at the house. A great company, a great asset for T.A. Mahoney Company. I know he's been out to Anderson's house. Couple things you're going to need in Florida is a plumber and air conditioning and a lawyer.
Number one in the number two business.
Matt's
thanks
number
to Mike.
one. That's right. Number one in the number two business. But a really good guy, great company to work with. Do what they say they're going to do. Reasonable prices, good people. That's why I use them. As far as fishing, Matt's got the passion for it. I don't know if I can go. We've been all over Key West, Louisiana, Canada, Georgia, just everywhere. We fished, hunt together, probably last 4 or 5 years, I'd say. One of the things I like about Matt is he's as much of a jokester as anybody, and having fun, he loves to. So I was thinking about how you mess with your friends. Last year, Matt got onto a lease with me, and I only go to this lease like once a year, and I usually kill about 7 to 9 does. It's kind of what I do for the season, depending on how many need to be taken. It's not just me shooting them. It's me and Matt and maybe somebody else. So it's well under our limit and everything else. And of course, it is during the season. I was at home, And Matt was kind of the guy, when I got him in there, I was thinking, well, maybe he won't hunt it too much. Well, he's up there every weekend. So what do you do when your buddies are hunting on property that you share with them and you're not? All you're doing is just sitting there thinking about it. So I was thinking,
spinning.
How can I mess with them from out here in Methner? They're up in Georgia.
Having fun
without
you.
Hunting, lying to me, tell me they ain't shooting nothing. The neighbors are said it sounds like a war zone. Blood all over the place, but they ain't killed nothing. Nothing at all. I ain't even seen nothing moving. Mike, you need to stay at home.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, man, how in the world? So I think to myself, I can figure it out now. And this was probably, in the last year, this was one of my great achievements. Because I'd set you up from the get-go, and you had no clue.
You have too much time on your hands sometimes.
So we got this property, right, that we leased together, but the property across the street is off limits for everybody but me. You know, it's like my own little special spot.
Or if Mike's not there, sneak over.
Yeah. Well, no, Matt's a friend of mine. He's on the lease. I said, listen, Matt, big bucks are over here, monster bucks. You're either going to shoot a big buck or you're not going to see nothing. I mean, this is the spot.
Big tracks
everywhere. Deep. And I knew by watching him that he's probably not going to do everything I ask him to do. I can already see that.
I'm by the book.
Oh, yeah, by the book, Matt. Don't sit in the truck. Where you at? I'm in the truck. Where you at? I'm over where you told me not to sit in the truck.
It was raining.
Man, I can see deer. They don't mind. Anyway, so I tell him, listen, I don't mind if you hunt here, but do not bring anybody here to this spot. I don't want everybody hunting here because then they kind of stink it up and, you know, the deer don't move through there. It's not safe anymore. You know, Matt going, eating Hansel and Gretel, eating crackers and all kinds of stuff, making a bunch of racket.
Leaving breadcrumbs to find my way back.
Yeah, follow the trail. So I'm sitting there in Methner at my house thinking, man, they're going out. So I go, I know what I can do. I sent him a text that said, hey, he knows my buddy's the game warden there in Georgia. And I said, hey, the game warden called me and asked me if they could put the mechanical deer up to catch poachers in that area where I told him he could go, but don't take nobody else. I said, so they're going to be setting up the deer there tonight. So basically what I was telling him is not to go by there and shoot him and then get arrested or get a coupon. So
I'm by the book.
I was kind of I knew you wouldn't have. I just wanted you to know. But I knew somebody was probably over there that shouldn't have been. That Matt, Mr. Nice Guy.
Undesirables.
Oh, this is my other friend. Mike won't know. We won't tell him. So I tell him, you know, hey, they're going to be setting it up. Matt texts me back, no problem. So then all of a sudden my phone rings, like instant, and it's Matt. So now I know I got him. I got him hooked. He's like, hey, where are the game wardens at? And I go, oh, they're right down the street at the gas station. They just left. They actually should be pulling on the property.
Any second.
Why? Is there a problem? Oh, no, there's no problem. I got to go. So I let him go. And then the big fiasco, there was somebody over there that wasn't supposed to be, and they were in a panic, and I thought to myself, I'm going to make them crawl out of that place, hiding from a game warden. Well, Matt was going over. Matt came clean, hoping I'd call the game warden and stop him from doing anything that, you know, Matt did wrong. He's by the book, Matt.
By the book.
So he calls me back to say, hey, you know, may not want, you know, I got somebody over there. What are we supposed to do? And I said, well, first of all, you shouldn't have put nobody over there. But I go, I'm just joking. There ain't no game warden. Oh, yeah, and he called me every name in the book. But then the real game came in because he had done told the other guy, hey, watch out. So I told him, drive up with your truck with the lights out, like at dark. It'll make them really panic. And I'll tell you what, that whole hunting camp, you want to talk about panic? That hunt was not fun. It's just
my buddy wasn't there for quite a while. We almost had to send a search party to find him.
Yeah, he was coming in the back door. He wasn't going to go deal with anybody like that. That was a good time right there. And to be able to mess with you from Seffner, and you're 6 hours north of there.
I mean, I wouldn't have expected anything different, to be honest.
It was amazing. It was
Anybody
funny.
missing a puppy?
Yeah.
We've
We
been
got to
looking
name
for the
him,
owner.
too. We
We're
got to
looking
name
for the
him.
owner. New TA Mahoney shop mascot. If nobody claims him, we'll take him. He's a good boy.
Matt, you got any good names for this? I've been hoping people put stuff down in the comments, kind of.
The name for the show?
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean,
I think we told him something like a $50 gift certificate. I'm thinking, first of all.
I mean, big spender there, $50.
Oh,
might buy you a couple weights here at Mahoney's, but
oh, you know what? We'll do 100.
Okay.
But I will tell you this: I don't want any family. I know my kids put some good ones on there. They better give it to their friend or whatever else to put the name in. But I ain't gonna pick no family or friends. But I've got a pretty good name. Okay, I've got one I'm thinking about that it's going to be hard to get me.
You are pretty good at coming up with nicknames and stuff.
Hey, somebody asked
Time
me the
on
other
his
day,
hands.
nicknames. Why hadn't anybody ever given me one? I know why, but let's hear why you haven't.
Well, I've got a couple. I just haven't told you yet.
I'm perfect.
I'm
That's why.
You are pretty good, but
you can't give me a name because it's just, it ain't going to happen.
I mean, we're still working on it, me and your buddies.
I mean, now, Tulu or Ed, he's got something going on like shenanigans or something. But
yes.
Let's talk about Tulu or Ed.
Tulu
We got
or
a
Ed,
hunting
yeah.
buddy. How about last year, the hunting camp?
Well,
how about dinner at the hunting camp?
we
Let's
all-
talk about Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, we all decided. Well, Mike decided.
These are my buddies.
Every day or every evening, a certain person will provide the meal and we'll cook it up. Well, our
We had,
buddy,
what, 6 people?
6 people, yeah, 6 days, it works out. I come the first day, got all kinds of good stuff, blueberry deer sausage, all kinds of steaks.
Rick's Meats out
Yeah.
there on 39.
Awesome,
Blueberry deer sausage,
Awesome.
the best.
Awesome. We got Jeff Hardiman with us. He's got some good steaks, blah, blah, blah. Next day,
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I told Eddie. Eddie's, always got to go get because he ain't got. You got to borrow something from you, but I got to go get it, and I'll get it as soon as you're out, is basically what happens. But Tulu or Ed, I got to go up and get something for dinner. And I said, hey, I got it to where we're each cooking a night. You can go 3 or 4 or 5 nights before you need to have something, Eddie, because everybody here, boy, Eddie's going to be mad. He's going to think I'm talking about
He's
him. But it's
probably,
all
yeah.
in fun. I'm going to get you back
We
in
love
here,
you,
Ed,
Eddie.
to defend yourself, and you ain't going to win because I got some good ones with him,
I've got
too.
some good stories for Eddie, too.
So night 6,
Night six.
he has cooked 2 pieces of Carol sausage, those real small ones that are smaller diameter than a hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay, cooked 2 of those. We went ahead and got some steaks, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, we ended up just getting the extra stuff we had, cooked it up.
Threw it all
everything.
together.
We couldn't wait on Tulu or Ed. I believe he was in the bathroom for quite a while or something.
Yeah.
But
And he got a plate, though. He
got
got
a
the
plate.
first plate.
Yeah,
He'd get the
first
first
plate.
plate, wouldn't he?
yeah, he sure did.
So he got the first plate, and then we're all finishing up, and he walks. Now, what he's doing is he's coming home from hunting season for 6 or 7 months. So he's cleaning out the freezer.
How about his container of oysters?
Oh, yeah, he brought milky oysters. Anybody like milky
They're
oysters?
great.
When they're not transparent, they're not good to eat. So he brought milky oysters.
That was his
2
meal, I
links of
believe.
sausage.
That was his meal. Yeah.
And the killer at the last night there, we eat dinner. We're maybe apple pie and ice cream, something. He brings out a bowl of Brussels sprouts that he
Fresh
had
out of the
shoved in the
microwave.
freezer,
Yeah.
steaming off the microwave, and kind of passed them around.
And he was also eating and like picking them out and then offering them to everybody else. And I didn't see him wash his hands any.
Yeah, that was before the distancing.
Yeah,
thing.
the distancing thing.
But that's Tulu Red. That's some of our buddies, and some of the in the future here, we're gonna, and I'll have Matt back on here. Matt's done, like I said, we've done the Wahoo thing. We've done real good with sailfish. I think Weren't you on the boat in Key West when I caught the blue marlin?
Yes.
Yeah, caught the blue marlin.
Awesome time.
Pre-fish last year for
jumped good.
Matter of fact, the Key West marlin tournament should be going on here in the next week or so.
I believe it's right now or something.
Yeah, well, they're pre-fishing for it. Them guys get there early. But Matt's been there a lot with me, lobstering. We've just we've had a good time, and he's had a great passion. And what him and Carl and what you're going to find out about everybody I have on here, they pretty much can take a day off in the middle of the week and go fishing. And that's what, that's what you have to do. You have to get your network.
Yeah.
You have to get the people involved. And, so many people want to jump the ladder and say, hey, Mahoney, I want to go fishing with you. Well, it's not that I don't want to go fishing with you, but I put time and effort in with other people.
You got weather, you got moon, you've got everything.
All things to consider, exactly.
So it's when it's time, it's time. You got to be ready.
Look for those people that have the passion, The last two people that are the first two of my first two shows and the next two, most of those people I don't do a whole lot of stuff with at night. I don't go out in public much anyway, but me and Matt don't hang out, and we're not fishing or hunting. We may talk, and he may need something from here, or I may need him to do some work for me. We talk like that, but really don't spend a bunch of time unless it's on that boat or in the woods. And that's the way most of my buddies are. For like Matt, I can take him out in the public, but like Tangles, you ain't taking Tangles out in the public. It's just he's not social. It's
wearing
not
clown shoes.
No, it's not a good thing. He told me one time when he buys shoes, it's not necessarily the size, it's the style.
It's the style.
Yeah,
you have to get the size that they have available.
Yeah, if it's Salvation Army and it's half price Tuesdays, Tangles is up there.
Even if the soles are falling off, let me tell you point of the shoe curling up like a court jester.
You were on the boat that day. Tangles was down at the house where I kept my boat, and I told him he could go fishing. And he's like, well, I can't drive all the way back to Brandon to get my clothes. He said, well, what time is it? And I said, oh, it's 4:30. And he said, I'm going to run down the Salvation Army and grab me a bathing suit and a shirt and some shoes so I can fish tomorrow. So that next morning, I really didn't think nothing of it. He met us at Publix. We bought lunch for the day. The next day, Tangles come out like a fishing guide. He had Columbia long sleeve. He had Columbia shorts, brand new pair of tennis shoes.
Good stuff.
And I'm going, how much do you spend on that? $22.50 for everything I'm wearing, even the underwear. I said, there is no way. You paid $22.50 for that? Yeah. So we get going. It's probably about an hour into the trip. I see a piece of what looks to be like a powdered donut on the floor of the boat. Well, I'd reach down and grab it. It's like a piece of rubber. And then I throw it out. I'm thinking,
Then another one, another
one, and big pieces. And then, so I'm going, what is this crap? Is somebody eating donuts? And Tangles goes, when they clean these shoes, I think they put some kind of chemical on it. They're deteriorating. So the whole sole has come off both shoes, and all the padding.
I believe you're forgetting to mention that when he wasn't paying attention, you were tugging.
Oh, yeah, well, they came apart.
You were helping.
It came apart. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, you were helping.
So I'm looking at him. They look like something you'd use on a 10-speed when you're racing. Like, you ever see the little cage your foot goes in and wears that little ballerina-looking shoe? Well, that's what they look like, and that's all he had. He walked around. I said, oh, those are nice. Those are
tiptoeing around.
They kind of look like moccasins.
They were cool, like those old wrestling shoes.
Yeah, that's what he looked like. He had Tangles and a set of wrestling shoes. He wasn't too happy about it, but still, he got a heck of a deal. Matt's been there for all that. Matt's seen the
best times of my life.
Steve, we had a buddy, Steve Cross. We got to mention him. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Oh,
we're in a hurry. Steve, don't get out of the bed. When you want to get up at 4:30, we're leaving at 5. Wake me up at 5 till. You got to go in there like a little kid and shake him and whatever to get him up. It's like come on, man.
Yeah, we're in Venice.
We're in Venice. Everybody's in the boat. It's 10 minutes after when we're supposed to leave, and he's in there on the poo-poo.
So I yell, Steve, boat's here. Come on,
We're leaving, Steve. I wish I'd had a video of it.
Oh,
this was just a month and a half ago. He comes running out,
pulling his pants up,
jumps on the boat, had a 3-foot long piece of toilet paper sticking out the back of his pants, like
Just
he
like
tried
the movies.
to put it there.
Just like the movies. I go,
like,
Steve,
holy
look at
cow.
you. You got toilet paper running out. No. Oh my. I'm
telling you,
you had to be there. That was awesome.
You can't make it up with this crew. So that everything I'm doing right now, I just want y'all to be happy, get to know us, get to know some of the people I deal with. I think it's going to be a really good show. I appreciate everybody tuning in. The people, like I said, Total Plumbing. Great. What's your phone number over there, Matt?
813-935-2733. We give veterans discounts. My dad is a veteran, excuse me. We donate to
you did South Shore.
Yeah,
South Shore did
donate
something
for South Shore.
Steve
anything
Hoffman
we can do to help, is it makes us feel good that we're helping others. We can, do all kinds of things, but helping other people, especially veterans, people in need, and donating your time, that's what it's really all about with us. That makes us, feel good, helping the community, helping somebody that is handicapped, can't get in and out of the shower, so we help them out, and that's what we're about, helping out.
Good deal, Matt.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Awesome
coming in today.
I appreciate it, buddy.
I don't have nothing that, I had him over at my house the other day. You want to hear it? I got to tell this one before we finish, though. This is the last one. I got a Rottweiler at the house, right, and got a little bit of fire to her. She's, she
stares at you a little bit.
So Matt goes,
Can't make eye
you
contact.
sure I can come back there? And I go, yeah, just don't put your hands in her face or nothing. Don't give her nothing to bite.
She doesn't like to be petted and
she don't like affection. So we go in and we're sitting there, and she comes up and drops the toy between us and kind of stands over it, and she's looking at Matt and she's looking at me, and I said, Matt, why don't you grab that toy? And he looked down like he was debating, and when he was debating, I just kind of moved that way a little bit, and that dog pounced on that toy, and he looked over at me and said, I think she would have bit me. I said, nah, you'd have got it first. What I tell you when you came in, she'll only bite you one time. I'll stop her.
Yeah,
I don't think she
dig
will.
in too much.
Yeah, she's going to do a snap first before she starts really tearing.
I wasn't sure if you had been up to date with your homeowner's policy, so I'm like, maybe I shouldn't risk that. Yeah. No, I know you're not.
You'd be in a ditch smoldering when they find you. And it won't be in Polk County because you get caught, that's for sure. Well, thanks for listening. We're on our second one. We got a bunch more coming. Thanks for having me. Leave the name in the comment. We are jacking it up.
Right?
$100 store credit and a T-shirt.
Might be a schmedium, but
it'll be a T-shirt. I didn't say what size, but it'll be a T-shirt. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a good one.